Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Karina Lade. I'm an intuitive healer and channel. And today I have the great pleasure to chat with my dear friend, Lara Waldman, who is the Abundance Activator. She's a very experienced healer, and she's here because she was one of our amazing speakers at the last No Limits event in Brussels. And I would love to chat a bit with Lara about how her experience of the event was and what she's brought into her life afterwards, so that you get a bit of a taste for what it's like and if this is something that would really resonate with you. So hi Lara, how are you?
Hi, very well, thank you. It's really fun to remember this event last year. It was so awesome.
Oh, thank you. It was so great to have you. And it's so funny because it feels like it wasn't that long. It feels like it wasn't that long ago, but it's actually been some time and so much has happened, I find. So can you please, let's share the story of how you ended up being a speaker at our event, because that was kind of like a pretty miraculous and magical experience. So if you want to share a bit about how that happened.
Sure. So I, on my soul's journey, on my path, it was very clear that it was time for me to get on a stage and start doing some public speaking, which is actually something that I knew I was supposed to be doing for about the last 20 years, but I hadn't actually done. And it wasn't really probably the right time, but I decided to kind of give myself a push by investing in this public speaking training at the end of January. And it was a huge moment for me where I was saying yes to really getting out there and being more public, which was where one of my greatest fears lay, but also where I knew my purpose was. So I came back from that event and I was like, right, I'm putting it out there. And I posted, I think on Facebook, that I am looking for public speaking events or opportunities. And then Karina contacted me, I don't know, within like 2 days of the No Limits event, saying that someone had unfortunately not been able to come, one of the speakers, and could I fill the space. And it was incredible because one, it was a very instant, quick manifestation of what I've been asking for, and two, it was actually a terrifying prospect, but I knew I just had to say yes and throw myself into the deep end. And to make matters more challenging, is I hadn't prepared anything, so it was sort of like really throwing myself into the deep end. And I just been birthing this new work, the abundance activation work, so it's fairly new. But I went, Karina got me on a train, and I showed up to this beautiful hotel, this amazing spread of food, and all these really lovely, kind people. And I was really struck by just the warmth of the group and the love in the group and the safe space of the group. And immediately I really felt at home. I sort of, found my soul tribe, so to speak. And it was, still scary, obviously, because I wasn't speaking until the next day, but I felt really kind of safe and supported, and I knew I was in the right space and the perfect space to give my very first talk.
Yeah, it was just so funny how that happened, and it was just, it's so interesting when we call something in and then it happens, but often not exactly how we imagined, right? And then saying yes anyway, and tuning in and saying yes even if it's scary. So I thought that was a perfect example, isn't it? Like when we were being asked to step up and say yes. And I know for a lot of the people who came to the event, it was also a big leap, because we had quite a lot of people who were introverted or who had never been to a live event before, and many were traveling across Europe to get to the event. So it was like way out of our comfort zone, I think, for all of us. And your talk was so great about abundance activation, so it was really inspiring as well. And I find that what I loved about your talk was that among many things that were amazing, is that there's something so powerful about being surrounded by other women and one man, when you're because you asked us to connect in with our wow goal, right, money goal, and I felt like mine was really big, and then the woman next to me said probably like 10 times that amount, and it was just so great to be in that really uplifting, where everyone's supporting everyone else to rise higher instead of playing it small, like often happens, I find, in real life compared to our online experience as well.
Absolutely. And that's what I find is one of the biggest takeaways from these types of events. When you're in like-minded, heart-centered people who are all kind of in a similar position, is that you expand, you take yourself to that next level, and you might not even realize how you've been holding yourself back or limiting yourself or putting the brakes on. And then when you get into that space, it's like you fill up and you realize, oh my God, so much more is possible. And you get inspired and uplifted and a bit more courageous. And you've got that support of the group as well, especially when you're in the kind of vibe you created for that event, the kind of people you draw in. It's really, really supportive. And that's priceless, I think, as a business.
Thank you. Well, Joanna Hennon and I, we really, really worked a lot on attracting the right people and doing a lot of energy work to clear the space and to keep it really, really high vibe, because our intention was that everyone experienced deep transformation. And so it felt like we were tuning into that, we were setting that intention, and then everyone came with like their powerful intentions. And then because as a group we amplify all of that, it just became much bigger. And I definitely feel like I didn't really do anything except all the work we did before and showing up fully. But then it's like you're being uplifted by something that feels much greater than you, which is always such an amazing experience. And live is really, really cool as well, because it's just not quite the same thing when we meet only online to connect with people live.
Yeah, and it is really important, I think, because so many people are running their businesses from home or on their own, and to come together and kind of pull yourself out of your business and do something for you that's sort of uplifting, and magic happens in these spaces. It really does. It's very, very magical. And what I loved was what was going on, I suppose you could call it behind the scenes, but all the connections, that were being made, that I made with people there, that people were making with each other. And that's continued on throughout the year. And that's been really, really amazing too. So you get new friends or these synchronistic meetings with other people that might help lift your business to the next level. And these are all the sort of unpredictable factors, but I would say that that's one of the most valuable things is who you meet and who you network with, and what that leads to moving forward that you might not know in the beginning. But that's been really cool to watch the connections continue after the event as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was one of maybe the powerful things about the event as well. And it's so interesting because Alison McKenzie, who was there last year and who's coming back to speak again, she said that the true magic happens not only when you're watching someone on stage or you're doing the workshops, but in the moment when you're waiting, you're having coffee, you're walking to the elevator, and someone says something that really shifts something within you. And those, you can't plan those moments, but they're just amazing. And just these connections and how it keeps nurturing us after the event, because it's not just the event, right? It's like the time after. And also I find that being able to have a clear picture of what everyone does. Because now when someone says, oh, I need someone to help me with my money blocks, I'm like, go to Lara. And if someone needs help with like branding, I say, go to Sashka. Like, it's just great to have people in mind. And also when you get to connect with them and see what kind of personality they have or what energy they radiate as well. Because then you can, it's like it's easier to feel who would be a good match as well, because it's not just about skills, it's also about what we what we are. And that's been really valuable, I think.
Some beautiful people on the last event as well that were sort of discovering their gift as well, that there's some beautiful people that I don't know, there's an animal communicator that was still quite shy about saying what she did, and watching her growth over the last year. And now, for example, if someone was wanting an animal healer, an animal communicator, that she'd be the one I refer people to, And it's been really, so that was the other beautiful thing, is watching people blossom and having breakthroughs and ahas and new focus in their business. And then what's been happening since then for so many people's businesses. I mean, there's really been incredible growth of people that were on that event over the year. I'm watching kind of on social media. And
yes.
Really cool, isn't it? It's really awesome watching people grow and kind of step into themselves more, and my language would be really kind of just, you know, own their self-worth and really value themselves more. That really happened. I noticed that.
Yeah, that's always beautiful when you see someone not really knowing and having that feedback from people, because that's something that I really loved watching, and that happened for me as well, is someone would just say, hey, this is the amazing thing I see in you. And so people would be like crying and hugging and laughing. Like, we laughed so much. I remember, just getting like a stomach ache because that's how much I laughed, because it was just so hilarious, and having that mix of just goofing off and having really intense, deep moments, and then the heart connections was just amazing. And yes, that's the thing, like, people kind of stick with you, right? And you remember, she's good at that, she's really great with that. And then every time someone needs someone who has that skill or that type of energy, it's like, you know who to send them to. So it's like, it just keeps going on, doesn't it? And actually a few of the speakers are coming back next time, and I know quite a few of the people who attended last time are going to come again. So it's going to be like a big reunion, and also lots of new people, because this is a very inclusive group, because some people knew each other before the event, but not everyone. I hardly knew anyone from before, and it was just one of those really warm, open spaces where everyone was welcome as they are.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really beautiful and loving and supportive space.
Thank you so much, Lara. And so, well, that's really awesome. It was so great to talk to you and have some feedback about your experience from the event. And I know that you've gone on to like the next and next and next things in your business, and you've been blossoming as well since the last time we met in March. And that's been amazing as well, where your business has taken you as well, and more speaking opportunities. And
it's been amazing. You know, it's just quite nice to think back about the growth, because, you know, when you're running your own business, it often feels like, oh, there's always more to do and you're not quite there, and there's always this feeling of not enough, or, you know, you could be doing more. And actually it's great to have a reflect on where I was then to now. It's been huge growth since that time. So thank you for giving me that push and that nudge, the first opportunity to get myself in front of people and face that fear, because it's amazing how, you know, sometimes we just need to throw ourselves in the deep end in order to get that ball rolling, right, with our business and our purpose, and to keep moving forward into the unknown.
Yeah, totally. Thank you so much for saying yes, because that was pretty miraculous to find a new speaker 2 days before the event started. You know, especially as this is in Belgium and you're in the UK, and, you know, pretty busy and everything. So that was just, the whole event has this kind of vibe to it, though. Joanna and I have definitely felt guided to create everything that we've created and to call in the right people. And then there's the magic operating that we don't really understand, right? We just say, okay, I'm ready to say yes and do what it takes, which has been just amazing and mind-blowing, and such great lessons for us as well in trusting and surrendering and asking for support. So this time it feels even bigger, and it feels much more ease-filled this time as well. And we've got so much amazing support. So for anyone who wants to join us next time, the next event is going to happen on March 24th to 26th in 2017. And we're going to be in Brussels again. And Joanna and I have really set the intention that this event is going to be all about having a bigger impact and taking your business to the next level. So, you know, maybe creating programs or high-end programs, writing a book, or, you know, expanding your tribe so that you can share your message with more people. So it's really about, leveraging that, your energy, your time, and expanding. And then, of course, the powerful mix of energy work with like the mindset stuff and the practical business tools. And this time we're going to have speakers coming in, talking and inspiring us to, you know, rise, and also workshops so that we can have something really tangible when we go home. And there's going to be talk about branding, passive income, just amazing work. And and just as loving and joyful and fun and inclusive as last time. And so if this is something for you and it resonates, do join us and book your ticket now, or get in touch with me if you have questions. or with Lara, if you know Lara, if you have any questions about, finding out if this is the right event for you. But our intention is really to bring together entrepreneurs, heart-centered and soulful entrepreneurs in Europe, so that we get to create these magical connections too, because there aren't really many events like this, and there aren't that many events in Europe compared to the North America or in Australia. So that's also one of our visions for this event, to bring together European entrepreneurs, so that we can, expand our work and support each other and create things together. Because there have been so many collaborations coming out of this event as well, which is really, really fun. And I love watching everyone connect and create more together. So thank you so much, Lara, for showing up today and for shining your beautiful light.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
And thank you to everyone watching this as well. And if you know anyone who would be interested in joining us live, please share this video. And we hope to see you in Brussels next year. Sending you lots of love.